This evening I would like, with the few minutes that I have left, to bring something to you and if for you to take with you. But we will see a few things here. Have you ever wondered if why is it that we have no answers to prayer? There are some hindrances to our prayers. And the verse that was used to begin with was found in Psalm 66, verse 18. If I regard iniquity in my heart, the Lord will not hear me. When you think about hindrances, what does the word hindrance mean? It's there. It's an impediment, a thing that provides resistance. So if you think about something that can hindrance your prayers, what will that be? If you remember a couple slides here, we saw that David says what? If I regard iniquity in my heart, will God hear him? No. He said no, right? What is iniquity? Iniquity is a synonym of sin, right? So, with that in mind, I want you to tell me, what are some of those hindrances? Maybe you had that experience. Maybe you know a passage of the Bible that will tell us of some hindrance. Or you have heard somebody saying, this is a problem for me, why I don't receive blessings as I pray. What would be one thing in your mind, in your experience, that is a hindrance to prayer? Haley, can you think about one?
Things that you're thinking about that's not...
That will stop you from praying, or that will, perhaps you pray but you don't receive an answer. What would that be?
If you're not like, maybe if God doesn't want you to have it.
Okay, if God doesn't want you to have that. But that is not a hindrance. That is an answer from God, I would say. That if it's not good for you, God will not let you have it. But a hindrance is something that will stop you from praying. There's many things. Eden?
Maybe if you feel like guilty for something and...
Okay, if you feel guilty for something. Okay, guilt will be a hindrance. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? There's many. Okay, too tired to pray. Is there such a thing? We can think that way. Right? Too tired to pray, okay? Too busy. Or too busy, okay? If we regard iniquity in our heart, okay? Any other thought? Okay, if you have a grudge against someone, you are an unforgiving spirit, okay? Another hindrance. Let's see, Paloma. Any hindrance? Anything that you may think that will hindrance anyone, even you, from prayer, from praying?
I was thinking grudge, but someone already said that. Well, if there's something in your mind that you don't really want to admit.
Okay. So that would be what, doubts?
But you don't want to bring
Disobedience?
it up. Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right. Doubts, disobedience, that's good. Anybody else? Sin. Okay. Eunice?
There's something that you
Okay, something you don't want to give up. That is taking the place of God. Okay, thank you. That was very good. Any other one? Brother Mikey. Oh, Brother Lee, and then Brother Mikey. Think in the meantime.
Well, if someone is very proud
Okay,
and
proud.
not feel the need of it,
Okay, not feel the need of it.
self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient. Okay. Self-sufficiency. Okay. All right. Brother Mike.
I mean, anything, a lot of things can be hindrances.
Sure.
You know,
Right.
to prayer, so it can be being lazy to pray,
Okay.
lazy to get on our knees.
Right. Okay.
Like Brother Lee said, not feeling the need, so self-sufficiency, thinking that we don't need the Lord. Probably, maybe one of the biggest ones is not realizing our true condition.
That's correct. That's correct. Thank you. Brother Joseph. Any hindrance?
Well, I think about it. I think Jonah may have had a couple of hindrances.
Like what?
Trying to escape.
Okay. Running away?
He kind of knew what was going on, but he said
Didn't want to believe it.
he didn't want to, participate. So a lot of times the narrow way doesn't have all of the lights and the excitement.
Okay.
So that would be a hindrance because your heart is going toward the Broadway.
Okay. Anybody else have any other thought? Everything that you had mentioned is correct. There's many, many things that can hinder us for having a good experience with God as we try to pray. And I want to share a few thoughts here from different individuals. Let me see. There's one here from Martin Luther. He said, prayer is a strong wall and a fortress of the church. It is a goodly Christian weapon. That's what Martin Luther said. So prayer is what? But also what? At the end, it's a Christian what? Weapon. Is it true? Yes, it is, right? Give me an example.
At the sound of earnest prayer, fervent prayer, Satan's whole host trembles.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Look at what John Knox said. Prayer is an earnest and familiar talking with God. That's what Knox said. Prayer is an earnest and familiar talking with God. So do we need elaborate words to come to talk to God? No. And these were men of God. William Tyndale in 1536, before he was burned at the stake, he prayed, "O Lord, open the kings of England's eyes." Do you think he believed in prayer? Oh, yes. Yes, he believed. Charles Spurgeon said, "It is not a matter of time so much as a matter of heart. If you have the heart to pray, you will find the time." That's what Charles Spurgeon said. So many times the hindrance is not finding the time. It is our heart. Problem. Mikey made reference to kneeling. Look what Dwight Moody said. He who kneels the most stands the best. That's what Dwight Moody said. Is that true? Yeah.
But these days, people just don't kneel.
No, they
Don't kneel.
they don't.
The good SDA preachers, they
No.
don't. I don't know why.
I don't know. Maybe they have a knee problem. I don't know. But, that's The Bible clearly says, let every knee shall bow. So that's the proper way to do it. John Wesley said, "The neglect of prayer is a grand hindrance to holiness." That's what John Wesley said. We look and search for perfection, right? How can God answer our prayer if we do not pray? It doesn't work. Now, see what Corrie ten Boom said. When a Christian shuns fellowship with other Christians, the devil smiles. When he stops studying the Bible, the devil laughs. When he stops praying, the devil shouts for joy. I mean, this must have been her experience, or somebody that went through an experience like this. But if we remember what Martin Luther said, the prayer is a weapon. If we lay down the weapon, what will happen? It's not. Or you don't charge the weapon. It's not going to work. So when Christians shun fellowship with other Christians, the devil smiles. When he stops studying the Bible, the devil laughs. When he stops praying, the devils shout for joy. Do you want the devils to be laughing at you? I don't think so. But James says, James chapter 5 verse 16 says, "The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much." So what does the word fervent mean? You have to have intense. You want to do it, right? So brethren, if we want our prayers to be answered, and if we want them to avail much, then we need to be fervent. I remember the experience of Elisha. You remember when they were the town where he was, the Assyrian king found him and said, there is where he is. He's the one that tells the king of Israel every time you... Yeah. And then they were besieged. He was very confident that God was there. And what did he say to the young man, to his helper? It says here, "And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha." Brother, can you imagine if God will open our eyes? We believe that there are angels here, right? Right? Yes, we do. But can you imagine if we could see them? What an experience that would be. And the last thought I want to leave with you is found in Steps to Christ, page 93, paragraph 2. It says, "Prayer is the opening of the heart to God as to a friend. Not that it is necessary in order to make known to God what we are, but in order to enable us to receive Him. Prayer does not bring God down to us, but brings us up to Him." And these words, what we read before, and I think it was Moody that said, "He that kneels stands best." So he was summing this up. If we kneel, what's going to happen? He's going to bring us up to Him. So may God help us, brethren, for us to think, how the devil brings things to us or allow things to happen. So we don't pray as much as we should. And by doing so, we allow the devil to rejoice because we are neglecting the way of communication with the Lord. So may God help us to not allow any hindrance to come between us and the Lord, so we can move, if necessary, if it's possible, mountains before us. Amen.